What's going on? I'm not sure if I'm officially hosting this time, but I got the button. So it is the
Oh
LLC,
Lord.
LLC Mid Eugene Mid Olympic Trials, the halfway show, if you will. Our illustrious host is flying and surviving her back and forth travel. We miss you, Chewy. Um, and I don't really know who's in charge tonight, but I'm just gonna throw it to the EP, aka fourth place
Oh,
sucks.
You're in charge. I'm eating my
Oh,
muffin.
I'm cool with that.
oh
Okay.
Lord.
Well, fourth place sucks is eating muffins.
Yes, I am.
Governor,
Let's not say that again, please.
hey.
Nope.
Pause.
Hey.
Pause.
Exactly. Do not let him see. You can't host a show if you're gonna let him draw you into stuff like that. You cannot. You have to be. You have to be
Got
smarter
him.
than this dude. Yes, you did.
Wait, did he get me or did I get him? It's
No, I
about
definitely got you.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
man.
definitely got you. He baited you
Oh.
right into that one, sir.
all right, but we talking about him. It wasn't me.
I'm doing very well tonight. Thank you, host. I appreciate it. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Governor Backyard.
Backyard. Yes. Flew into Kingston today. I'm going to be helping out a young man trying to make the Olympic team. Brian Wasom. He's waited a long time for this. So just going to make sure I get him on the board and just let him do his thing. Doing a little recruiting as well, of course, with the U20 meet being locked in with the Jamaica trials. And just overall, just watching the shenanigans, because there will be. Guaranteed.
Absolutely. I am on a similar mission. I will be departing for Sweden to help Miss Amelia get on the board and hopefully deliver herself to Paris. We all know that Mr. Harris is the jumps coach around here, but I'm on board duty this weekend, so we're
All
gonna
right.
get that going on. And then of course, last but clearly never least, the hardest working man in track and field, Sir Lucius, aka James Brown.
James Brown.
How did you enjoy your off day, sir?
I enjoyed it. I light practice, meeting or two, and I did my laundry, so I'm good. Clothes are clean. Yeah.
Sir
And will be
Lucius
happy when I get home that all my clothes aren't dirty when I get home, so they'll be good.
Sir Lucius is like Troy Polamalu. He's never not working.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, obviously, Olympic trials is where we start.
Mm-hmm.
Weekend one. My question for the room will be, what is the biggest narrative for you coming out of the first weekend of the trial? There's a lot to grab there.
I'll go first. We always talk about the brutality of the U.S. Olympic trial system. Usually there's a casualty or two. Every now and again, there's a bloodbath, and that's what we started with. Because in the first half, we've already lost a reigning Olympic champion and two reigning world champions, all on the women's side. Right? So it's like, that's a Grand Canyon in the women's Olympic medal hunt.
Right.
For the
Now,
United States.
before you keep going, because we all know a thing is a part of that. Can you give the audience the other two that people probably aren't paying any attention to, but they should be?
Miss Brooke and Miss Sasaga.
Yes.
The women's hammer is the women's and men's hammer, the only event that's not competed inside the stadium, but it is, they show as much of it as they can on the screen. And you are, if you walk out onto the what's it called? Onto the mezzanine, you can see it perfectly fine. And the number one female hammer thrower in the world threw the hammer into the cage 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And very shortly thereafter, the reigning world champion in the women's discus, managed to throw. I mean, look, nerves are a real deal, and she managed to throw the discus out of sector. I think cage once and out of sector left twice, one of which landed on the track. And if you've been in Eugene,
the track,
you actually have to you
Yes.
actually have to be a great discus thrower to get the discus to the track.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Not to
So
mention Miss Cassandra Void.
yes. So Cassandra Void was it was like a death by 1,000 cuts with a spoon,
Right.
because she had 2 fouls, then threw far enough to make
The
her final 3,
Yeah.
and then had 3 more throws and still
Yeah.
didn't get in the top 3.
Exactly.
So
Finished
that was
sixth in
like
a row.
really hard to watch. The women's hammer was brutal to watch. It was exciting, but it was also very brutal to watch if you're a fan of, we'll say, chalk.
But continue your soliloquy on the
Yeah, I just, like, look, there was in the men's decathlon, there were 4 people with the standard and 1 who was in the top 24, right? So we were already going to leave 2 home. What we left with was 1 got 4th and 1 broke his fibula, right? And in the women's heptathlon, we had 4 in the top 24, 1 with the standard, and that wasn't decided till about 32 meters or so left in the women's 800. Massive amounts of drama. Michael Johnson, if you're watching, like, see storylines that you don't have to make up.
Right.
They actually play themselves out.
Absolutely.
Just saying. Like, listen, I just, for the record, I sat down with MJ at the meet. Like, we had a really good talk. Like, it's not, there's no hate towards Mike at all. We got to figure out who the field event benefactor is going to be.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, the Darwinistic nature of athletics and of the U.S. track and field selection process for the Olympics has never been more strongly on display than the first half of the trials. And I'm sure, unfortunately, there's more to come.
Sir Lucius?
Oh, Sir Lucius.
I mean, I think for me, it just the difference in a USA championships and trying to qualify for the worlds versus the Olympic trials. There's a whole different level of intensity, a whole different level of emotion, and like you can just feel the tension when you walk into the warm-up area, right? Like, people are quiet, people are, not as collegial as usual, and then the event started and it's cutthroat. I mean, I for me, as a nation, we have to do better in the long jump. And I know we keep saying that. And, I know we keep saying that. But like, and obviously I'm happy I had a guy make the team, right? But we got to do better. We got to do better. I thought that the men's and women's hundreds were both phenomenal. What Dennis was able to do on the women's side, 3 girls, 3 women under 1090, very impressive. I watched him get TT better each round, right? And that was very impressive. I also found it interesting that, people are, I know Clyde KOP wants to talk about this, so we can dive in now. At some point, like, this whole thing that everybody that makes the finals on the relay, no, it's not. No. Top 3 only people guaranteed. And see, to give Mike and Michelle credit, they have put all this information. It's online. They've had seminars about it. They've had Zoom calls about it. It's the top 3 in the event, and then they have this discretionary things. So there's no guarantee that anybody gets to go beyond the top 3. The men's 100. I mean, there was talk, openly online, anywhere you can find it, that if Fred Curley walked in Nike shoes, it was a problem. and Fred walked in Nike shoes, right? And it was a problem, right? And all of a sudden he's 989 again. And if you watch him closely, him having another month to prepare may be an issue for everybody because he clearly is still working through some things. Like his start, the mechanics side of it are okay, but the explosiveness isn't there. The men's 400 and the women's 400 were both phenomenal. I think that the women's 400, the concern will be the youth of that team. Yeah, the youth of that team. And then on the men's side, I mean, I think Michael Norman thought he was running the 300. Matthew Bowling definitely thought he was, right? And so I'm just like what happened to race models, right? Like Michael Norman has a race model that has worked for him since he was like 12 years old.
Yes.
He just threw it out the window. It made no sense to me whatsoever. And then there was the fiasco that was a thing, Mo. And, the fiasco. And what I'd like to say to the masses that are complaining that how smart was it for that to be her first race of the year? It could have been her 15th race of the year. She still could have got tripped.
Yeah.
So there's the fact that, and another thing is this is like, I'm going to ask all of y'all to stop questioning arguably the best guy to ever do it. Right?
Like,
I mean, it's BK, right? It's Bobby. So like questioning Bobby Kersey is just
arguably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I don't. Okay, mute yourself again. You were doing well. It was just a phrase, right?
The man has had a gold medalist in every Olympic since '84.
Right. Yeah. So let's question that guy, right? So those are my quiet takes, and I'm sure we'll dive into something a little bit more of that later. But I'm really looking forward to the second half. Oh man.
Yeah.
Governor.
All of you have pretty much covered the points that I was going to bring up. Youth definitely was served in the long jump. And, for me, the jumpers that have made it before, they've been on this runway multiple times. They know how this venue is. They know how this works. I just felt like there was a lot more intrepidation from veterans, from people that have been there. They've been in the belly of the beast before. And so you had to kind of wonder, like, what was different this year? What was different? Yeah. And is it a matter of, preparation? Was it, I'm always a little concerned whenever the Olympic trials are in June. I always am, because that's a very small window for a professional in terms of when a professional starts training and when a professional starts competing. And June is kind of that, still trying to figure it out for those. They might have had one or two events. They might have done an early meet in April and then went back into base training. I don't know. But all I'm saying is this. Was it a matter of athletes not being prepared, not being ready to give it, everything they had, have everything on point? There was a loss. It just seemed like there was a loss of sharpness. There's a loss of, and I'm talking about true dependable kids, athletes, women.
So I'm glad you brought that up. It's a perfect place for me to throw you a question on that point, because it has seemed thus far very vet specific.
Yeah.
And if you're fans of the show, you can go back and watch shows from years ago, and you see we are all acknowledged during Tokyo, during Budapest, that we were kind of in this shift of a youth movement coming to the forefront from the American perspective.
Yeah.
Instead of people not being ready, the vets, could it be that the vets understand that this one guaranteed is the last one? They're not going to LA. And in that moment, to type
Yep.
to, doing too much, trying too hard. Because some of these performances, didn't make a lot of sense, right?
Well, the mere fact for the throwing events and the jump events, sure, you make a mistake on the first attempt, but you adjust. You confer with your coach, you look at the video, you fix it. But we saw athletes not fix it. Like it was just kind of, I'm sitting there watching the screen, I'm like, we're not doing this, are we? Like, seriously? And that's the part, I mean, we won't until, unless, you have a face-to-face and sit down and talk.
Sure.
But it was very evident, and these are clear favorites. These are athletes that have won titles, world titles, Olympic titles. Just very strange. Now, on the positive side, please I have to say that for me, the performance of this meet was one Parker Valby. And so far, and what she did to take it out, knowing, and this is the part that a lot of people don't really understand in terms of the narrative. For a lot of the distance events, most of the athletes in those events do not have the Olympic standard coming into the Olympic trials.
That's right.
So this is it. So there is no, let me just hold back and sit and kick. Hell no. And so for Parker to take it upon herself with the three animals that were behind her, and I excuse the word, I probably shouldn't use that definition, but those three women behind her were out for blood. So she's knowing what's going to happen. She had to know. She had to be prepped. She had to be prepared. But she's got to get the Olympic standard. And that's what a lot of athletes, I think, in the field didn't really understand. Forget about, in a lot of respects, forget about if there are people doubling up, that are going to pick and choose what events. If you don't have the Olympic standard, it's not going to matter what you do. So she goes out, she gets the Olympic standard, she gets fourth, but there may be good news on the horizon. It just depends on what the athletes that finish in the top three did.
No,
that was absolutely fun to watch.
That's a phenomenal point, and one of my more favorite moments. Just the guts that it took, to do that, and a lot of casual people will get lost in the fact that she didn't make the team and finished fourth, but her running it that way delivered that Olympic the Olympic trials record to that race.
Absolutely.
Right? Like there's so much of that on the youth versus the old. Can you imagine one of my more favorite narratives from this weekend? Quincy Wilson. Wow. It started off as a cute story. Look, the 16-year-old's in the Olympic trials. Isn't that awesome? Oh, he won a heat. That's cool. He made the semifinals. Good job, kid. And then all of a sudden, everybody, but especially the competitors, actually, hold on, this is a problem. He actually could knock somebody off the team.
44-59 in the semi. Hello.
Right? Like how much of a mental whatever you want to call it is, I'm 32, whatever, and this child could put me off this team.
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy thing to witness. And props to Jolie and Quincy. Like that was just fun, man.
Yeah.
And he was never scared. Not for a second.
Nope.
Not for a second. And even for him to run himself back into the race from lane 2 in the final and finish.
He was just shot. I mean, like he had no legs.
Yeah.
But the thing with him, there's no quit in that guy.
No.
It was so much fun to watch. But to Lucius,
I mean, the bad race was 44.90.
Right. But to
Lucius, he ran under 45 seconds 3 times.
Yeah. 3 times. Yeah. 3 days, 3 times. Yep.
So we like to educate just very quickly, people, please, you're driving me crazy. Quincy Wilson has not made the Olympic team yet. He might be selected, and you can debate whether he should be selected. I'm here for it. But this whole thing of athlete X finished 4th, they're on the team. Finished 6th, they're on the team. They made the final, they're on the team. Stop it. That is not a thing.
Yeah.
It's just not. And I don't know why in 2024 everybody, and I mean everybody, apparently still believes this shit, but it's just not true. Okay, so please, just wait for Sunday to come.
Until the announcements are made.
Right.
Yeah.
And they will announce.
And let's also give props to the other high schooler, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Right?
That's
So,
exactly.
and so
Yes.
clearly the first round nerves got him.
Yeah.
He just wasn't himself. And then on day 2, I go over there and I'm watching his coach did an incredible job of just reminding him to be who he is. He reminded him how to set the race up, reminded him how to run through his phases. And when they're going off in the semi, he jumped out. They ran him down, but they ran him down at 9:94 or not 9:95, whatever it was, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So like that was fun to watch as well. And after the first, he was clearly nervous the first day, but after that, he was just like, "Y'all got to beat me." So
Yeah.
No, yeah. So, and that's where I was going next. Like for me, there was, I mean, there's a lot of amazing things that happened, but for me, the 3 big narratives for me were how impressed I was with the youth, Miller, Wilson, those kind of situations, right? The young lady out there in the high jump doing her thing in high school, right? How incredibly impressed I was with the youth is a big one for me. The utter disrespect of that has come with the Athing Mo situation is mind-blowing to me. Like, people, you don't have to like the fact that athletes change coaches. You don't have to like the fact that athletes relocate in their professional lives for reasons beyond track and field. But Athing Mo broke the American record under Bobby Kersey. Like, there's nothing wrong with this girl's training. She is a world champion, the Olympic champion. She made a decision and put herself in traffic, and she fell.
Yes, it happens.
Like, it happens.
Yes, it does.
And all of the people out there arguing, and there's a ton of them. Oh, we should rerun the race. Oh, we should stop it. That is not what we do. The brutality of the American selection process for this team is what makes this meet the hardest. It's what makes this meet the best in the world.
Yep.
And everybody gets it. The young lady who won the 800 suffered it last year. That is the game. Yeah. We don't care who you are. We don't care what your rep is. We don't care what your record is. We don't care how many medals you have. You have to come here, line it up, and deliver in the moment if you want the honor of being a U.S. Olympian.
Yeah.
And I get why people don't like that process, but it's why our team is the best team.
Yeah.
No one is safe. No one. Grant Holloway ain't safe. Okay.
Well, if you want to go from a social standpoint and where sports is going in this hemisphere.
Yes, absolutely.
The Olympic trials are absolutely probably, I mean, for casual onlookers, I mean, the amount of people that are on X and are on Facebook and are completely apologizing for this young lady. And oh, this is not fair and all. Look, man, please, at the same time you're doing that, recognize the hard work that was put in and the fact that these ladies ran their tails off.
That's right.
157 is no joke. I don't care where it is.
And I'm so glad you said that, because that is such a perfect thing to say right now. In a world where all of American sports, it seems, is into trophy culture and people's feelings.
Absolutely.
This might be the last place where no one cares.
No one cares.
And
The Olympic trials
everybody
are the
respects it.
definition of F your feelings.
Yes.
Nobody cares. Like literally nobody cares.
So what I want to know, Sir Lucius, is leading up to the 800 of the heptathlon.
Mhm.
Like, what was the mood? What was the temperature? You know, going into that race. What was the goal for that race?
The goal was to win the race and win the meet. You know, there was some talk. You know, the conversation I had, I like to get just a pulse on what she's thinking. She was thinking anywhere from going out in 61 or 62 to go out at 57. 57 was not happening. Like, no, we're not doing that. And so we settled on 59 to 60. But like my challenge to her was, let's get something out of this, something positive out. Let's test our fitness a little bit. Let's come to 59 or 60, but let's not go out in the first 113, right? And she was good. She was great. And like, I mean, obviously that's our big joker, right? The 800.
Yeah.
And you know, she had done a time trial about 3 weeks ago, and she ran 127. So I knew she was ready to rock. So, but that's always good to have that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
That's obviously, you know, coming back off the surgeries, you know, Anna being able to put that performance together is one of the best stories.
And I want to give a shout out to Leah Brooks.
Yes, she was great.
Yeah.
Great. Throws got a lot better. She's changed some things in the long jump. And also, you have to go back and watch the hurdles because she's running along right beside Michelle Ackerley, and she almost falls.
Most.
So there's another 100 points or so.
Wow.
In her future right there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for the stat geeks, obviously the block, Dennis Mitchell's crew sweeping the women's 100 is incredible.
Yep.
Yet not unprecedented. Who was the last people to do it?
HSI.
2000. John Smith delivered.
John,
Maurice Green,
Maurice Green,
Drummond,
John Drummond, and Curtis
Johnson. That's the
Curtis
name
Johnson,
that no one will remember, right? Curtis Johnson. And so being fortunate enough to witness both of those 24 years apart, crazy. And you know what, obviously, you know, what is TT coming from, you know, relay extraordinaire to putting herself in that space. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming, and she deserves a lot of props for that.
And remember, she was on the team in the 122.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's back on the team now.
And then obviously Melissa, like everybody's super impressed with Sha'Carri, and Sha'Carri is super impressive, and she's the favorite. Melissa, to me, was the most impressive of the women's 100. Like her arc and where she is now, like that wasn't any kind of blowout. That was a race.
No.
Yeah.
Like Melissa looked really, really good.
Well, I'm not gonna say it was a race, but it was definitely I mean, she beat her by 10th of a second.
You know the narrative was that was going to be like a 10-meter blowout.
She beat her by 10th of a second.
Okay. The video
So,
the race.
Okay, look, it was a race for everybody, but 1070 to 1090 is not close.
Melissa didn't run 1090. She ran 1080.
Let me correct myself. 1070 to 1080 isn't close.
No.
1070 to 1075 isn't close. So 1080 is definitely not close. So it was a blowout, but I'm not saying that Melissa didn't do a great job, because she did. But we have seen, I think the thing that Dennis has done with her is her middle is better, right? Like she's always had the ability to jump out the 40 and just hold on for dear life. But now she's running the middle better. But folks, let's just be real. Like Sha'Carri had 3 of the worst starts I've seen her have in a long time.
Yeah, sure.
And sort of her do what she did. Like the thing was, women's 100, the gun goes off. They get to 10 meters. I'm like, it's over. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna run right by him. Like in the men's 100, the gun went off. They took 3 steps. I'm like, he's too close. Like I knew it's like they just no
Oh, yeah.
way. No way. No way.
Well, the
Because you
men's
can't
100
like
was
and what they need to understand is this. Leave him alone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he absolutely becomes this superhero when people are talking trash to him.
Yes.
When people are talking bad about him. It fuels him like no other human I've ever been around in my life.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And so the best thing y'all can do is try. It's not gonna work, but try to sneak up on him.
Mhm.
Because he and Lance are locked in. Like I watched them do some training sessions, but I tell you, they're locked. They're joined at the hip. It's amazing.
So to that point, I watched Kenny Bednarek very closely
Mm-hmm.
in these 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
This young man has it, as far
Yes, he
as
does.
I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen this happen before, and I'm going to throw out a name, and I've seen it. I'm seeing when Obadeli Thompson. I've seen him do the same thing that Bednarek did, where in the rounds you can see where he could move and he didn't, or he's right there with him and he turns and looks, and you're seeing this from round to round. And I'm going, psychologically, all right, you have to win those races. You can't think that, oh yeah, I'll get him on the next one. Sorry, the 100 is killer. It's either you kill or be killed. There is no in between. So I think there's still another step that this young man needs to take, to really just because
And can take. And
and
can.
he
Yes,
can.
absolutely.
It
Is
is
he
there.
still, what's he like 23? He's like 24 years old.
No, he's
Yeah.
young. Yeah.
Yeah, he's young.
That was very impressive to watch, but we know that there's more there for sure.
And
there
I
is,
got to
yeah.
get this in before we shift to the upcoming weekend. In a world where people are quick to give up, change up, panic, Kendall Ellis,
Mm-hmm.
6 years to get a new PR.
Yeah.
And all she's just been doing is working.
Yep.
See,
Now
and here's the thing, and this is what I'll tell you about Kendall. She's listening now.
Good.
Because Kendall was the girl that would when they come flying home the last 110. Now, clearly she understands that the importance of running the second turn.
Mm-hmm.
So if you the folks out there that want to understand the 400, if you don't run from 200 to 300 aggressively, you're not going to be good. Now you can't go out in 20.8 Matthew Bowling. But if you run the proper race model, the 200, and then run the turn, success happens. And that's what she did. Because see, in the semi, she was out in like 23.7.
Mm-hmm.
In the final, she went out in 23.9, and she ran 12.2 around the turn.
Ooh-wee.
And because of the 12.2, now she's got momentum and she just runs by everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But like just beautiful race model. Quincy did a marvelous job. I can promise you Michael Norman won't go out 20.9 again. No.
But you know what though? And Bowling and Norman going out in 20.9 is not equally ridiculous. Like it's obviously ridiculous.
It's not.
It's obviously ridiculous for Bowling to do that. But 20.9 for Norman is closer to right than I think a lot of people may realize. Like if that's 21.3, 21.2.
Oh yeah.
That's where it's supposed to be. It's a problem.
Right.
Right. It's
I think he was just a little excited. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he's a veteran. And I think too, I think sometimes Michael kind of gets this chip on his shoulder. He's got something to prove. Make the team, bro.
Well, that's what it looked like going down the backstretch. He was going to send a message.
But see, because he looked like he was running the race model that Quincy used to run. But Quincy's first 100 was jogging. And then he just flew down the backstretch and around the turn.
Right.
Mike got on the gas from step one.
Step one,
Step one.
And let's be clear, Quincy Watts is the most efficient quarter miler by technical model of any human being to ever run the race. Like I used to ask Q, I was like, Q, how is it when you slow down, you don't break apart? Like
Yes,
that
right.
dude would be 397 meters into the race, and it looked like he was at like step number 4.
See, this is when you know somebody was iconic in what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
When Quincy was running, the high school quarter models would be saying, "I need to go get my Quincy on today."
Yeah.
That's when you know that
Yes.
you're doing something right. I got to get my Quincy on today, right?
Full
Yeah.
disclosure, in 92, after what he did in Barcelona, I went to my coach and I said, that's what I want to look like when I sprint. That it was the prettiest
Mm-hmm.
piece of sprinting. Oh my gosh,
And
unbelievable.
then he reminded you that you were afraid to sprint, and then we just moved on. So anyway,
Okay, all right.
All right. So
Let's move on.
shifting gears to weekend number 2 for us. For others around the world, it's just the weekend, right? We're gonna get into some you could call it predictions. And we will of course let Sir Lucius abstain from whatever event he may be coaching. So he may not give any predictions at all because he's coaching every event. But where are we, gentlemen? I'm just gonna throw some events out here. Y'all could throw some in at the end if I miss one that you really wanted to get in. Where are we at with the U.S. men's 200-meter team?
it's impossible.
It might be the hardest team left.
Oh man.
I said it a month ago. Left, I think it was the hardest team to make before it started.
Oh
Sure.
boy.
There are legitimately 8 guys here that can run sub 1990.
This is insane.
Actually, that's my first prediction is we will see 6 in the final under 20.
Under 20.
I won't go
Yeah.
higher than 6 because the lanes will matter, and if you're stuck in 1, 2, or 3.
But see, didn't we have that many or close to it last year?
Mhm.
No, but I think it's gonna be like
Because if I'm not mistaken, Robert Gregory was 5th last year and he ran 19.8.
yeah.
Golly.
I think it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, he might have even been 6th last year, ran 19.8. I can't remember.
I think everybody above lane 2 is going to run under 20.
Yeah. That yeah.
Lane 2 may do that too, but I think a fair and easy bet, like easy money, is lanes 3 through 9 sub 20.
Well, that would be 7. So we're all here for the 7. But give me you got to give me the 3. You ain't got to give it to me in order. Apparently, so that's what we punked out of that last week. But you got to give me 3.
I'm gonna say you said not in order.
I want them in order. You know that, but
Ariane, Noah, Kenny.
all right.
That's your order?
Yes, because I am a card carrying member of the Ariane Knighton fan club.
All right.
And I'm going to be there for his 4th and 5th Olympics.
Right.
Okay.
Governor.
I'm gonna say Lyles, Knight, and Bednarek. Chalk.
Chalk. Crazy. There's literally so many other people we could pick.
I know.
But 100%.
I think those 3 are going to give us an epic race.
Absolutely.
Listen, Courtney Lindsay has run 1971, and he just needs to be in a different country.
Right. No, absolutely. So yeah, no, but those are my 3. Obviously, we will not ask Sir Lucius to participate in that one. So we will start with Sir Lucius on the women's 200-meter team.
Top 3.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think the first one's easy. Gabby Thomas. Shaqiri's running the 200.
As of this moment, yes.
Okay. Then I'm
To
gonna
be
go
determined if a scratch comes later, I guess.
I'm gonna go with Shaqiri. And then I'm gonna go with my homegirl, Mackenzie Long.
Okay. So that would make me second. And of course, Lucius, you stole my original picks in order. So I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna say Gabby, Mackenzie, and Miss Richardson for third.
That's what I have. Thomas Long Richardson.
So I was going to pick Thomas Long and Richardson, but I can't agree with both of you. So I'm going to have to agree with Sir Lucius and put Mackenzie in at third, just because.
I just think that in watching Sha'Carri and the way she's accelerating right now,
Man.
like if she runs, she's gonna make Gabby do something crazy.
Yeah.
Because see, people, I don't think people, if you've been paying attention, like Gabby's run 50 point.
Yep.
She's going like she's going to meets and she's training. Like she runs 100 or she runs a 200 and 30 minutes later runs 100. You know, she runs a relay and 20. So Gabby is preparing for something special.
Yeah.
You know, so but if Sha'Carri decides that I'm gonna try to run her legs off for the first 150, this could get epic. I do mean epic.
Okay, so we'll stick with the women in what my opinion may be the most difficult event to pick. The women's sprint hurdles.
Ooh.
Really? That's what we're doing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because this year, it's all over the place.
You're abstaining?
I have to. I got somebody in the race.
Oh gosh. So I'll go ahead and throw mine in there. Tia Jones is actually going to run. She's entered, right?
I heard she's gonna get out there and try it, which is incredible. I mean,
so I'm gonna go. Man, I cannot and I will not bet against Nia Ali. Sorry. I gotta go Nia. I'm gonna go Nia, Tania Marshall, and Kendra Harrison.
okay.
Skinny Kenny.
It's a mess.
It is a mess.
Unlike other years where this event is hard to pick because the US women are so dominant on the global scene and there's like 5 of them and you got to pick it to 3. It's just been all over the place this year. Like there's no dominant figure right now.
Nia. Nia, Kenny.
You got Alicia, Tania, Masai, Christina Clemens.
I know. Don't forget the collegian.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Nope.
Who's run 12 frigging 4.
Yep.
Okay. I know what. Listen, I'm a hater, I guess. I don't know what it is. Nia, Masai, Alicia.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
I like the outside the box nature of that. Listen, when Alicia's on, she looks like a medalist.
Yes.
I know.
Or who knows what's going to happen, right?
Listen, I know.
And to that point, I'm not mad at the at the other selection there, because we have all seen Miss Russell. Like,
oh man,
don't if you understand, like if you're a fan of Devin Charlton and you know indoor world record and you think Devin can get a medal, which 98% of the world probably believes that, know that Masai does all that same stuff. Like she's really, really good. I could totally see a scenario where Masai comes out of there. But she hasn't put it together yet on a major, major, major stage. Oh man. This is hard, bro. This
Listen,
is hard.
I picked those three because you picked literally the hardest event for us to pick.
In the to go to the example from before, Nia's obviously in that one. Don't you know what? Not obviously, because Nia has changed our minds on so many things over the years. It seems like this would be Nia's the last Olympics. And I don't see her ending this in Eugene. I think it's going to end in Paris. So I'm definitely taking Nia. You could make that argument for Kenny.
Yeah.
And
a lot on the line.
Kenny plus Bobby, she got herself back in the 12-2s, right? I think she'll be ready to roll. The third one is the wild card for me. If Tia Jones never got hurt, to me, like that would be the easy call. I just can't imagine I can't imagine she can come back that quickly. Like I can't see it.
She got hurt at Paul Doyle's meet?
No, at
No.
Indoor USA.
Indoor USA. Yeah.
She tied the world record, ran up through.
Oh,
got hurt herself.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. The best starter in the field might be Grace Stark. And in this event, when you jump out on people, you put a lot of pressure on them. Like we've seen people fold and hit hurdles and do weird stuff. So if Grace nails that first half like she does, I think she pulls it out. I just do. So my third is going to be Grace.
All right.
Be honest, I'm glad somebody did it because I wanted to do it. I just didn't have the stones. Because I'm also a card-carrying member of the Grace Stark fan club.
Okay. So the other side of the hurdles, men's 400-meter hurdle.
Ooh.
We all understand Rye, so give me the other two.
I'm going chalk. I'm going Benjamin, Dean, and Bassett.
Interesting. Officially, is that chalk?
It is official chalk. Declared. That's declared chalk.
That's declared chalk. Who's 4, 5, and 6 on the list?
Allen Robinson from Alabama. Khalifa Rosser.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, the Alabama kid's interesting.
He is.
I'm gonna go with those who have been there before. So I'm gonna go with Rye Benjamin, the American Psycho, and Mr. Allen.
And who?
And Mr. Allen, the bearded wonder with the sunglasses.
See, I like that. I do. There is something to be said for having done it before. And Mr. Allen is never in the front, but he's always there.
He's always there.
He's always there. He knows what he's doing.
Smart enough to, in this field, he's smart enough to know I just need to be smart enough to be in position to run for third because I can beat everybody else.
Right.
If he doesn't get caught up in the nonsense up front, right?
Yeah. No, and that's,
I mean, that's the reason I call Trevor Bassett the American Psycho, because he is here for the nonsense up front.
I so that's very interesting. So yes, Rye for the win. Because we all respect and understand that Trevor can go there. I had him second, and I was literally going back forth between Caleb Dean running the super aggressive, almost psychotic race that he wants to run, and Allen just kind of moseying along, waiting for the air that somebody's gonna make. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to tap out and say I want to see the lane draws in the finals first, but we don't get to do that. So I'm gonna go with Caleb Dean. I'm gonna go with Dean. And now we could bring Sir Lucius back in for the women's 400-meter hurdles.
Ooh.
Oh, big shocker. Cindy McLaughlin.
I'm talking 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3. 2 and 3.
I don't know how you can discount USC Anna Cockrell.
Yeah,
I think she's solid. Lawrence has done a great job of grooming her, and she's just she's consistent. She knows she's been here before. As far as making the world team, I just think as long as she stays focused, it's her. I have no idea who the third person is going to be.
So
Lila
right now,
is
in terms of entries, you have Sydney Shamir, Jasmine Jones, Anna Cockrell.
there's my third pick. Jasmine
Who's that?
Jones.
Jasmine Jones. Okay.
See, Shamir before this week would have been one of my picks, but she ran 3 hard races in the fourth this week.
I'm still trying to understand what
No.
happened after the post-race interview where she's like, yeah, I just came here to run that one race. I didn't want to be bored. I'm done. And then she shows up in the semis, and then she shows up in the final. And I'm like, okay.
Have you met her, coach?
Okay, that's enough.
Hey,
that wasn't a shot. I'm just saying that it shouldn't surprise
it was
you.
Definitely a shot.
Whatever. It wasn't a shot. I was just saying, like, it shouldn't. What I'm saying is, he's talking about.
What I've learned, and since I'm the oldest guy on the screen by a ton.
Wait, but before he tells us something important, because he's going to. Can I give a less important answer to the question he posed? Here's what happened, dog. She peeked in the door and got pushed through it. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Right. Okay, so
cracked it open.
Like everybody else, she has a contract. And if she makes the team in both events, what's that do for her pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when she goes out and runs 50.1 in the first round, and at that time you're thinking, if I can get the 59, 49, anything, I can make the team, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Now she didn't get there, but yeah. And I'm not, I'm not one to question because I'm not with them every day. So clearly they saw something that the rest of us didn't. I don't think they just didn't expect the other people to step up the way they did. Right.
Right.
Aaliyah Butler was monstrous big.
Yeah.
But Sid, Cockrell,
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine Jones. Those are my 3.
So I've got Sid, I've got Cockrell, and then I have Rachel Glenn.
Get out of my pocket.
To me, okay, and this is the part that I love about this sport. There are little windows. So you're watching all the big time performers, and then someone catches your eye. I mean, we can all testify to, being at a meet, 4x1 goes off. You see someone on second leg, and you're like, who is that? Rachel Glenn, to me, this entire collegiate season, I cannot, she is something special.
And she won't be high jumping.
Rachel might be the most athletic person in the field.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
But the others have been someplace she has never been.
Right. I agree.
because 53-1 and 54 flat aren't, and 53-80 aren't the same run, right?
So
He's also the worst hurdler in the field.
I know. So I'm predicting an out of
Not
body.
surprised that you pointed that out, because I know how you are about hurdle technique. Drives you crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
and I think it's, I'm not bashing Rachel.
Mhm.
I think that it's going to be one of those deals where there's Sid and then there's 4 girls coming off a hurdle 9.
Fighting
right?
for 2 spots. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So,
Uh,
oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the old guard. Not quite that old, but Sid, Cockrell, and Shamir.
Wow.
See, that's the group I'm rooting for. Like, I'm a huge Shamir Little fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, one of my favorite people.
Huge.
I tell her every time I see her, I want the flower back.
Right.
Right. We need the flower back.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's like, I mean, we all have some affiliation with how they train there. So, like, your mind says, well, she got the 2 days off. Like, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, is it though? Like, I don't know.
Right. See, it's just the physical and the emotional strain of the trials, and let's be real. Anybody that knows her and Chris and knows the way Chris trains, if anybody can recover, it's a Chris Johnson coached athlete, right?
Yeah.
But she's not running against the weak sisters of the poor. Those are
No,
all very
no.
Y'all know I like to watch the technical side of things.
Mm-hmm.
What Jasmine Jones did the NCAA meet was masterful.
It was.
Yes.
It was patient. It was calculated, and clearly, Joanna's figured something out with her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she replicates that run, it's going to be hard to keep her off the team.
Right.
Well, the thing that was very, very evident, like, as that NCAA race was closing, like, call it 120 to go, it's like, oh, Jasmine's not winning. She wasn't winning. But Sutherland, who had run a beautiful race,
Yes,
can't hurdle like that.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, if Jazz is on her proper foot, she's gonna win.
It's a wrap.
Because she's like the difference in hurdling was so obvious, right? And to your point, if Miss Jones, is she doubling? Is Jasmine Jones doubling?
I don't know. Only the governor could answer that.
I need the governor to tell me if she's trying to double.
No, she's not.
Just the 400s, right?
Just the 4 hurdles.
Yeah.
Then there you go. Then that's like, yeah, Cockrell, Sid Cockrell, and Jasmine Jones, because she's letting the short hurdles go to do this. Yeah. And man, I hope Shamir makes this. But yeah. Okay. So give me an event. I gave y'all enough of them. Give me an event, KST, that you want us to throw in this fire.
All right. Men's triple jump.
I don't like you.
Of course. That's where you went.
See, that was my event. Well, first of all, it'll be a very emotional competition for me.
Yes.
Because Christian, Omar, and Will are all in it, and but I have I got to go with my man Donald Scott.
All right.
He trains in Gainesville with us, and a great guy. And then I think after that it's going to be the young boys. But because I'm a homer, I'm going to go Donald, Will, and Christian.
Wow. Okay.
Strictly homer on that one.
All right.
Give me the top 5. Give me the top 7 entries, please.
You got Scott Salif Mane that won NCAAs.
Yeah, sure.
Russell Robinson from Miami. Will Clay. Chris Bernard. Brandon Green Jr., the kid from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And Omar Craddock.
Jesus. All right. So I'm gonna let y'all esteemed field event folk close this one out.
So I've got
Donald Scott for sure.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'm gonna go with Mane because I respect what he just did. And then it's gonna be one last ride for somebody. I have no concept of what Will Clay's been doing, but he's here. And I imagine he ain't showing up to just kick it.
Right.
Christian is out there. Like, man, one last time for the one time. Give me Christian.
Okay.
Donald Scott.
Donald
Scott, Will Clay. What's the young man's name from Miami?
Russell Robinson.
Russell Robinson.
That's
my 3.
You took my 3. I got Scott, I have Will Clay, and I have Russell Robinson. To me, I think he shows up.
Me and Lucius going nostalgia on that one. All right, Lucius, since he took your event, give us another event.
Women's long jump.
Ooh.
And of course, he went there, knowing that he ain't even gonna pick it.
So you got Davis Woodall, Quenisha Burks, Jasmine Moore, Sophia Beckman, Monet Nichols, Lex Brown, and Takoria Humphrey from. So you got 2 Illinois women.
Who on that list has the standard?
Stop. They all do.
They all do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I'm going to take the top 3, not because it's chalk, because I think they're the 3 best.
I'm definitely taking Tara and Jasmine. I don't know about third.
Oh, I'm taking QB. You stop that.
I hear you.
She's the type that will be at the end of the run where I talking about I ain't losing to these.
Yeah.
You don't even curse, man. Stop it.
I didn't curse either.
Yeah, but you implied that she does.
I see.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'll take
QB
Juanita. I'll take her. I'll take Juanita for third.
I've got Tara, Quenisha, and I've got. Yeah, I have to go Jasmine Moore. Those are my top. I got chalk.
Everybody's on the chalk. All right. The 4th place sucks.
Because I like violence, but I also like to give options. Would you guys like to choose the men's 10K or
No.
or the men's high jump?
I'll take neither for $100, Alex.
I just said I like chaos, but I like to give options. I could have said the men's hammer, and y'all literally don't even know 3 hammer throwers. So
I don't know 3 high jumpers.
Let's go 10K because at least it's weird.
All right.
So I have no idea who's in the race. So
for the people
Grant Fisher, and then who else?
Who will you explain to the
wait a
folks
minute?
at
You
home?
said the men's what?
10K. Oh wait, did that happen already?
Yes.
The show the hell did.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Nico was already on the team.
Right. He's already on the team.
I guess we're doing the men's high jump.
Nah, do the 5K.
I'm down. Men's 5K is fine.
Yeah, do the 5K.
Kareem, would you like to let them know who's in the race?
So you've got Grant, you've got Cooper Tier, you have Nico Young, Cole Hawker, Sean McGordy, Abdib Hamid Nur,
Ner.
and
Ner.
Morgan Beadlescombe.
Beatles.
I have a weird feeling Cole Hawker is not going to show.
I have a very weird feeling that he probably won't.
For the record, I want to put this out here so that it is actually on video. I am picking Cole Hawker as the sleeper to win the Olympic Games in the 50.
Wow. That dude was locked in.
As he was.
Holy moly.
Listen, he's the best kicker on the planet.
Man.
That is.
If-
All right. Since we're gonna get this so wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Fisher.
Mm-hmm. So does Nico Young show up?
Well, see, so okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who's actually gonna attempt the double and who's not, you feel me? So if everybody showed up, I would pick Fisher,
Mm-hmm.
Nico Young, and Hawker.
Okay.
But I don't think either one of them are gonna show up. So I'm gonna take Nur, Nico's training partner, and Cooper Tier. So there's my 3.
So Nur gets second, Tier third.
Oh no, we ain't been doing orders all day. We ain't doing them now. Damn 5K.
I've got Fisher, I've got Nur, and I have McGordy getting third.
Okay.
Fisher, Tier, and I'm going to go well off the beaten path, but this dude has balls too big to run with. I think his last name is Wolf.
Yeah.
Kid from North Carolina?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Lucius.
Fisher,
That's
Tier.
Sir Lucius to you, boy.
Depends on how he makes this pick. You know, see.
Fisher, Tier, Nico Young. He's gonna show up.
All right. And then
They're not gonna leave money laying on the table.
Right. and then of course we'll close the predictions out with letting Lucius sit this one out, unless he just wants to give us the other 2, because we're all picking Grant in the men's hurdles for the win. But after that, it's actually really interesting.
It is very interesting.
Who do we have for those other 2, spots there? I'll give you one, and then I have to work. I need a minute. I'm taking Freddie. Like,
Who's that?
I'm taking Crittenden. I like Freddie. I think he's ready to go.
Okay.
What's my man's name that was not Tinch, the other one that was the one that David Oliver coaches?
Ah, yes.
Beard.
Yes, Beard.
He's
That's right.
not with Oliver anymore though.
Okay, but that's his name is Beard, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Flamingo, Freddie Crittenden, and Mr. Beard.
So Trey Cunningham is not making his team.
Right. That was a little wild.
Listen, you asked me to pick, so I picked.
He said it with his chest.
Right.
I said it with my entire hairless chest.
Well, I'm not willing to do that. I'm gonna go Holloway, Cunningham, Crittenden.
Are we gonna get the other 2 out of Sir Lucius? No.
Well, the
I
problem is
really,
he's got 2 in the fight.
yeah, I know.
He really wasn't gonna speak on this one.
I know. Hey, I tried. You gotta try. I really want to pick one of the collegians. I really, really, really do. But no. Trey, I can't see Trey fumbling the bag like that.
No.
So I'm gonna get Trey for 3, but Crittenton for 2. And none of us have picked Roberts, just for the record. Like, no one picked Daniel Roberts, which I found interesting. A little
I
disrespectful,
mean,
but it
I
happened.
was trying to not do chalk. Like my first
I
inkling
hear
was
you.
to say Grant, Trey, and Daniel Roberts.
Mhm.
I understand.
That was like, okay, fine. You want me to change my answer to that?
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Well,
I
that's what I'm
liked it. I
saying.
liked it with your chest out.
I said it the other way just because it was interesting. I mean, look, we'll have a good team if those 3 guys make the team. I'm not saying that.
For
I
sure.
was just trying not to predict chalk.
Well, I think it is safe to say that we are expecting just as many, if not more, fireworks for the second weekend as the first. But before we get out of here, I would like everybody's thoughts on the Jamaican 100-meter men's and women's team.
I'm not picking the men's team because I don't care.
All right. Just the women then.
I'm gonna pick the chalk.
All 3. The big 3.
Yep.
You're going with the big 3.
I'm going with the big 3. I don't even think it's like, other than my concern about Elaine's injury, I don't think it's a. I feel like the limb I'm standing on can support my weight.
All right. KST, you in Jamaica? You going with the big 3 chalk?
No,
I didn't think so.
I'm going with the big 2 chalk. I'm going with Shelly Ann. I'm going with Sharika for second.
Mm.
And I'm going with a newbie, a young lady that came on the scene this year. And I'm trying to remember her name. Gosh.
Sir Lucius, while he's
Yes.
Well, I think Shelly Ann. I think Sharika for the win. Shelly Ann for second. My gut tells me Alana Reed's going to be decent because she's in Dennis's training group. Just judging by the way the rest of them look. But I'm gonna go sentimental on this one. I'm gonna go with Brianna Williams because she's with JS.
I got Crystal Slowly for third.
okay. I feel like the rumors of Elaine Thompson's death have been wildly overstated. I just much like some of the others we talked about, I don't see Elaine Thompson's career ending at the Jamaican National Championships. I don't see that. So I'm gonna go big 3 on that side of things. And I do think the men's are going to be entertaining, but we've taken a lot of time already, so we can cut it here. I wish everybody safe travels, and
I'm picking Bolt on the men's side.
that hey, they need him back. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Sorry.
We gotta pick the time for the men's Jamaican 4x4.
You ain't got to pick the time. Do the Jamaican men pick up this? I don't even know what you call it. Gift. Do they get it done or do they not get it done in the 4x4? That is the
what
call.
do they have to run? 2:59, 17?
2:59,
11.
Do they get it done or not get it done?
So Lucius, what are your thoughts?
I've got 2 guys on there, so I'm gonna have to say they get it done. Gotta have faith, man. Gotta have faith.
I feel like there's no way they don't get it done.
They're running. The world champ is going to run.
He better.
Yeah.
He better.
So from my perspective, you put that race on the track in front of the Jamaica crowd with prize money, incentive in there. I say it gets done.
Fourth place sucks. Do they finish 16th place? 17th?
Oh no, I definitely think they get it done. I don't. I said that. I don't think there's any way they don't get it done because
Okay.
at this point in time they have said to the entire world, "All right, listen, we're going to go get this done."
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I want to be very clear here.
For $1 million Jamaican dollars.
Right, right. No, funny little tweet that was. Because our colleague has 50% of the team, because there should not be an Olympics without the Jamaican men battling for the gold,
Yep.
because it would just be beyond stupid. I believe that they will get it done. However, the fact that we're even having to do this, I am rooting for 259-12 as a petty punishment for it having to come to this.
Oh, goodness.
The Jamaican men should get a medal at the Olympics, but this is ridiculous that we're even doing this. They're being bribed
Yes.
to do this.
But I will say this: we have to give the Jamaicans credit for this. If it would never ever happen, I know we all know this, but if this was the United States, they
Oh, no
wouldn't even they wouldn't even think to do this.
No. So yeah, for all of those reasons, they absolutely should. So go get it done, people. All right. We appreciate y'all, and we will do this again next week with the second trials recap. We miss you, Chewy.
We miss you, Chewy.
See you later.